Hello Mark, hello Transport Evolved, and I am so looking forward to the weekend. You and I go on air in exactly 1 hour and 4 minutes. I have yet to type up the show notes for today's show, set the cameras up, or even get myself looking respectable. So I just hope that we get everything done in time. There will always be a small section of the community who are the tinkerers, who like making things, who like doing their own DIY projects. And if the majority of EV owners are going, no, I'd much rather use a purpose-built, factory-made charging station, thank you very much, that's fine. I mean, just let the tinkerers, let the people who are tinkering do their thing. Maybe you make them sign a disclaimer if they, if they're really worried about it. But it does make me wonder if this is a storm in a teacup, a fuss over nothing, for essentially worrying about what is a very, very small minority who want to do it, and I think should have the right to do it, because at the end of the day, we live in a democracy. Taxpayers' money, rich boys' toys, yes, I encounter that quite a lot. And the gentleman I met on Wednesday who was really mean to me and wouldn't let me cross the bridge was certainly of that ilk. Top Gear petrol head, he was not going to help in any way a stupid, rich electric car owner. I wasn't dressed up particularly, poshly. I was yesterday, but I wasn't on Wednesday, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I do meet horrid people on fairly regular basis who are not EV owners, who are determined not to listen to me no matter what I say, and you just have to kind of let them get on with it. Interestingly though, I mean, you said people say that EVs are flawed because charging stations go wrong. Does that mean that petrol cars are flawed when they run out of petrol? The way we sell EVs, yeah. I want a Mac Pro 2. I want all the other nice things we talked about on Wednesday at the Apple Store. We can't afford them yet, Mark. Be patient. But the way we sell cars today does go back a long way. But it also goes back to a time when we treated cars differently. If you think about our parents' generation, most of our parents' generation knew how to service a car. Now, I know you had connections to the auto industry. My dad was very much into fixing things, although we didn't have a car from 1984 onwards. I have friends whose parents got the kids to help with the servicing of the car. They knew how to set the timing of the engine. They knew how to check the feel with a feeler gauge, the clearances on the valves. They knew how to change the spark plugs. They knew how to do the alternator. They knew how to change the distributor cap. They knew how to adjust the carburetor so that the car was, if a car was running too leanly or too richly. These things have been lost in time, and they've been lost between our parents and maybe our grandparents' generation and our generation. There are people of our age who do not know the first thing about buying a car, who do not know the first thing about cars full stop, other than how you drive them. And a couple of years ago, the driving test did try and address that problem by adding a technical aspect to it, although it's not enough, I think, for most practical purposes. What does this mean? It means people are turning up at dealerships knowing absolutely nothing about cars. And so that very kind of old-fashioned way of test driving a car doesn't work anymore, because you're arriving at the dealership with less knowledge. And that's one of the reasons why the Tesla store model works so well, because it actually entertains and educates people on an electric car theme before they've even got in the car. I think maybe what we need in the future is something called a mobility consultant, somebody who goes in and understands what a particular customer's needs are. But what do I want to talk to you today about, Mark? I want to talk to you about the way that we train dealers, i.e. not the dealerships themselves, but the people who sell cars to us. Because in the last couple of weeks, I've encountered so much misinformation from the mouths of EV dealers, people who are trained supposedly to sell cars. BMW i3 dealers, Nissan Leaf dealers, Renault Zoe dealers, people who should know better but don't. People who think that you can plug in a BMW i3 and rapid charge it from a 43 kilowatt AC Type 3 rapid charging station. People who think that the Nissan Leaf will do 130 miles on a full charge and it will recharge at home on a fast charging circuit in half an hour. But my question to you, Mark, is who's responsible for countering that? Is it the dealerships themselves, the individual dealerships? Is it their responsibility to ensure their staff are properly trained? Or is it the the automakers, the people who make the cars in the first place. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all on Monday. Take care, Mark. Take care, Transport Evolved. Bye.